So what are you doing here?
Recycling the concrete. Let it dry up.
I'm reloading!
Hello, we are today at the gun club in Pitt Meadows Gun Club, and I'm showing you here first of all, before we do the job and the pads, the trap pads for the gun club, I'm showing you why we're building these pads and how are we building them and the process of building them. Is very interesting and beautiful video to share with you guys. So first, you gotta know there's 4 houses where they put the targets for the shooting. They put on top of these houses the target of the shooting. As you see, it's numbered 1, 2, 3, 4. Each house, in front of each house, 5 pathways. These pathways, they're called trap shooting pads. And that's what we're building, the trap shooting pads. First, we form them. Then after we form them, we make sure they're stable, strong, all the same level, dead level. Then we number them so people can know where they're positioned when they're shooting. At the moment, we are forming the job and preparing it. As you see, we make it straight lines from the houses where the shooting targets are. So now we're just string lining it. We put string line to make sure everything very straight. And as you see, everything in particular, we go everything by centimeters, so everything very accurate here. This string line is just to show the line are straight for each pathway when they shoot the target, so to make sure everything comes from the house straight line. Because this club, they focus on teaching people how to shoot accurately. They teach them from all levels, beginners, advanced, and all level. If you want to become a pro shooter, this is the place to go. Basically, after we form the job, as you see, now we compact it. We form the job, we fill the gap with the gravel all the way to make it above the ground level, and we laser level it to this point, and we compact it very well so the concrete sit on it and it stays there, doesn't move. After that, we reinforce it with rebar before we pour, and after in front of each house you see like 5 walkways, which is paths to the positions. I'll show you how we number them as well, but the numbering part will come after we pour the concrete, not before. This is the last tweaks. This is the 4 houses ready to go. And just to show you before we pour the job, how the forming, the house here right behind me, and this is what we form, 5 walkways. For each walkway will be small traps, pads, and it's numbered, and you back up as you progress. And now the job is prepared and ready to go. Next step, all what we have to do to pour the job, because now we formed it, we compacted it, the ground's pretty good, everything is very straight. And now the concrete is ready to come, and now we have scheduled the concrete, and the concrete is here.
So what are you doing here?
Recycling the concrete.
Now they're pouring this concrete amount. This is the last small amount of concrete that they're pouring. And of course, you guys, we put rebar as you see, and he's lifting the rebar up and to put it in the middle of the concrete.
Why do you lift the rebar?
Has to be on between the ground on the air. Has to be suspended.
What do you do here now?
Well, I'm gonna clean it out with air. I'm gonna blow it all out. So he only needs maybe a hopper there, so I can stop the truck from filling up my hopper. Now I'm just gonna blow it out with air, so that way I leave no mess for the customer and everyone's happy.
And now we're creating the last small portion of the job, and we're waiting for the concrete to come for the last small portion that is left.
So after I'm finished with this, bro, I gotta go and get the insulating tarps.
Job prepared at 4 inches. It does look thicker than 4 inches just because we form it by 2 by 6 and 1 by 6 and 2 by 8 because the elevation is high, but we filled part of the job with the gravel, so majority of the job is 4 inches. Some areas more than 4 inches, which is fine. As you see here, Mark, he's one of the board members at the gun club, and he's marking the cuts so to know exactly what's the cuts. So they want to make sure the cuts, all of them evenly, cut the even amount. Between each cut and cut, 36 inches, which is 3 feet. They want 3 feet, so each time the person advances in the position, backs up 3 feet. And if you see, like after we pour the job and we smooth it and we trowel it, we do the cuts, then we broom it, or we broom it, we do the cuts. Both work. you have to redo the highlights, and most of the times you have to redo the highlights regardless. Now he's trawling the last bit of the job because he want to make sure it's a trawl before it's a broom. First he meg it with hand meg. It's a way of trawling. It's soft trawling. Then he trawl it with a trawl or like the outside trawl, but because it's a small job they do the hand trawl. It's easier. So if you see, everything is very smooth, so it looks like a smooth job before we broom it, so it looks like smooth, so we don't skip that step. And now the small portion of the concrete that we were waiting, it has been filled, and we got concrete to fill it, and now it's filled, and now we're ready to finish the remaining of the job. As you see, this numbered, and it's broomed and numbered already, some of them. And now I gotta show you through the process, or walk you through the process, how we stamp these numbers to the pads. See, all of it is numbered, each of them 36 inches, and now we gotta go through them one by one. See, with concrete you don't want to rush concrete, because you can't rush concrete. You go with the speed of the concrete. So the faster the concrete goes, the faster you go. The concrete slows, not hard enough, you leave it to dry out a little bit, then you go a little bit more. So as you see, he's doing the cuts here. These cuts are expansion joints. People use it for other smart purposes, so they made more cuts just to make it as positions and trap shooting pads, and this is very intelligent and smart move. As you see, this part is done, just a small portion is left, and that's how almost like the job will look like after everything completed. But just the new concrete, we didn't trowel it or anything because it's very fresh, so wait for it to harden up. But as you see, as we broom the opposite way of people walking. As you see, like people walking up and down, we broom sideways, so it's not slippery. This is one of the purposes. And secondly, it gives it more beauty, especially when it's highlighted. It's cut already, the job, but we gotta highlight the cut again. He broom a few times one side of the brooms, then he flip it because it gets sticky. It doesn't get sticky, and it looks a clean brooming. As you see, if you leave it now, it looks pretty good, but we always to the last second of the job until the concrete is hard. See the numbers, how it looks like. It looks very nice. And now I gotta show you how we put the numbers. Basically, the customer gave us the numbers, and he put it in a piece of wood and put screws in the back, and now we're just using liquid release. This is how we do it. We just like stamp it, basically same as a stamp. One by one we do it. There's no fast way of doing it. Like, there's no shortcut for hard work. You have to go one by one doing it. And as you see, it goes up to number, I believe, number 27. Up to number 27. Yeah, 36 divide, yeah, 36 divided by 3 is a 12. It's 12 positions there for shooting. There's 12 positions for shooting. So it goes 15 to 27, yes. And he goes one by one, and he has his way of doing it. This is the last thing we do, the numbering. First, we pour the job, we screed it. After we screed it, as you saw, we edge it, we trowel it, then we cut it, we broom it, then we cut it again, and we highlight it again. So you have to do all the steps. You can't skip any step. If you skip any step, there's some flaws comes. It depends which step you do. You skip. So if you don't reopen the cuts, it's not gonna look as neat. If you don't do the edges before you broom, it's not gonna look as neat. So you gotta do all the steps multiple times. Sometimes some people, they try to skip step, they think it's smart. It's not. Like, if you don't trowel and you just broom, you gotta have holes. Some customers, they wouldn't notice this stuff, but you should like work with integrity when you do jobs for customers. This stuff, like to do extra better job and better quality, it takes you literally extra 2-3 hours, but it stays in the customer's house for years, so you can't skip steps. See, now as I told you guys, is to up to number 27, and this is how the job looks like. And this is the shooting positions. This is the trap shooting positions, and this is literally the best trap shooting positions in BC, in Pitt Meadows Gunning Club. So you guys have to come check it out. Anybody has interest to learn how to shoot, which is everybody should have interest to learn how to shoot.